by the doctrine of necessity, all at the stroke of a pen. Families are consolidated or dissolved, enterprises are incorporated or liquidated, convictions are obtained or upturned, and life and death go hang on a simple but weighty sentence held in the balance by a pen waiting to be wielded, particularly when the ink that runs through the pen is propelled by the force of the state. We have also seen world changers who, when the pages of urge proceeded on their journeys without the backing of the state, and forcefully turned the wheel of civilization at the stroke of a pen. At the stroke of a pen, the doctrinal chains that held the church and the nations in a stranglehold were dismantled when a German professor of theology, Martin Luther, reminded the world that the just shall live by faith. Here I'm referring to the 95 Theses he nailed to the door of the Wittenberg Cathedral in 1517. At the stroke of a pen, the people of Great Britain began their journey to freedom from the tyranny of monarchy to parliamentary democracy. History calls it the Magna Carta. At the stroke of a pen, the people of the United States declared their independence from colonizing power of British Crown. They called it the Declaration of Independence. At the stroke of a pen, the people of France broke the spell of an oppressive monarchy and took control of government. History records it as a declaration of the rights of the man and of the citizen. At the stroke of a pen, Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels sparked the flame of revolution among the proletariat of Russia and Eastern Europe. They call it the Communist Manifesto. The likes of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and Chief Obafemi Awolowo, armed with no other weapon, mobilized the Queen's language in the struggle for independence from the Queen. They fought their battles through such media as West Africa Pilot, Accra Evening News, and the Tribune. Decades after independence, when free, fair, and credible elections were annulled and a tyrannical dictatorship held sway, the Nigerian press took up the baton and contained just the armory of vocabulary. I'm so glad that the labors of these pen warriors and all others who fought for the democracy we enjoy today have not been in vain, after all. From now on, anytime the name Bashirnu, MKO, Abiola, GCFR, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, is mentioned with full honors, it's an honor first to the man who paid the supreme price to pave the way for Nigeria's democracy, and then to the heroes and heroines who stood up behind him, including those in the fourth estate of the realm who marshaled the written and spoken word against tyranny. Indeed, the members of the press who fought for the June 12 mandate were fighting not just for democracy, but in defense of one of their own. Amongst his many endeavors, Bashirnu MK Abiola was a media entrepreneur and founder of the African Concord, where another Bashirnu, Dele Momodu, the man at whose behest we are gathered here today, caught his teeth as a journalist. I totally agree with Ralph Waldo Emerson that talent alone cannot make a writer. And I'm a little bit intimidated this morning by men who wield that pen and women who wield that pen in our nation. I'm seeing Prof, I'm seeing Dr. Abiola, and I'm saying, what am I saying here? I hope you receive it with the meekness I'm delivering the speech. I totally agree with Ralph Waldo Emerson that talent alone cannot make a writer. There must be a man behind the book. Bashirnu Dele Momodu and his ilk have proved themselves over the years to be real men. In addition, by deploying their skill against tyranny, the members of the press have aligned themselves with a biblical truth that recognizes authorship as an instrument of battle, because the same God who is militarily presented in Psalm 18 verse 2 as the horn of salvation is revealed in Hebrews chapter 5 verse 9 as the author of our salvation. My reference to the Bible at this juncture reminds me of Dele Momodu's desire to be a pastor, which I first heard him express in the course of my 60th day celebrations, and the ordination was carried out last Sunday at the Lateran Assembly where he preached his first sermon. Pastor Dele Momodu, the